so I obviously want to talk about that with you. I think that's an important topic, but I don't want to skip over the issue of malpractice. So if we could do that for a moment first.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say two things about the malpractice concern. The first is, there's a variety of studies estimating the economic impact of malpractice on healthcare, and they're all over the place. But I would say that's frankly unimportant. The range of studies, some say it's big, some say it's little. That's unimportant, because the impact of malpractice as a headache, as a manager on our daily shoulders, in the back of our minds, the stress of knowing that might be coming up on you, that's just, that contributes to burnout. That's hardly the only thing, but it's a horrible thing. I had an event in my practice in 1983. We got sued in 1985. I actually wasn't even there when the event happened. And I think it was like 2001 or 2002 when it got settled. So for all those years, I was carrying this headache, and the person who sued me continued to come see me as a patient, which was really bizarre. Which takes me to the second point,
Wow.
which is why do people sue? Why is it that we in the United States have this issue? Partially we're a more litigious society, but I think the bigger reason why people sue is something bad happened, be it our fault or not our fault. Something bad happened. They're oftentimes now unable to work, and they lose insurance, and so they sue in part to pay for the future cost of medical care. And so the biggest single driver of whether somebody's going to sue or not is to pay for the future cost of medical care. And then if the judgment is against us, the single biggest chunk of that is to pay for the future cost of medical care. So under a single payer Medicare for all solution, where the future cost of medical care is no longer tied to your abilities or disabilities, no longer tied to your employability, your employment, that's all gone. When something bad happens, they don't have to sue us to pay for the future cost of medical care. And if they do choose to sue us, the future cost of medical care is not part of that. And so the cost of malpractice premiums is we're the only country where, a physician can go up to a politician to try to talk about some policy issue. And the politician, I've had this happen to me, and the politician puts their hand together and goes, yeah, doctor, yeah, I get it. Malpractice. Well, no, but we're the only country where that's the case. And we can put in tweaks and band-aids and adjustments, put in limits and this and that, and that's absent a fundamental change. I think it's really critical that we do that, but we can kind of reverse the governance of the issues that are driving this by, get it off the table, get it off the table.
That's a good point.
It's very well articulated. And you just have this uncanny knack for putting a nice frame around things that usually are very muddy, very gray. And that's kind of where my question is how do we get this out into the public so that it's better understood? I don't even think that it's really well understood within the healthcare ranks, to be honest with you. So I know you're working with organization that is, I want to make sure I get it right, Physicians for National Health Program. And what kind of work is being done there to help educate those of us so that you get a mass behind this thought process?
Well, I think this is really interesting. When my organization, Physicians for a National Health Program, was founded in 1987, I think the lion's share of work that we had to do was policy development. What is the policy? There wasn't a bill in Congress. The work initially was, well, what does this mean? But that's actually shifted, because now we have a robust bill in the House. We have a not quite as robust, but a pretty good bill in the Senate. And the actual policy work, which was the core work of Physicians for a National Health Program, we kind of have that worked out. There'll be more, it's going to continue to improve. So that continues to be a core function of our group. But I think we're seeing a shift towards, not only in my group, but in other advocacy groups, towards what you just said, Rhonda. I think we're seeing a shift where, hey, we know what this policy should look like.
Yeah.
Let's start saying it in English. Let's make sure people understand it, because the words are co-opted, and the biggest thing we're up against, of course, are the financial interests in preserving the current system. And they use three main tactics, which is core to any public relations firm. They use fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's actually got an acronym, FUD. It's a FUD campaign. A campaign of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So fear, you're going to lose your doctor. Well, no, you're not. You're actually going to, for the first time, not be at risk of losing your doctor, right? I mean, I
Right.
just literally yesterday found out that my physician, whom I go to see, is going to go into a concierge practice. And I'm suddenly I'm losing my doctor because of the insurance. So fear of that, you know, that's propaganda against the better system, whereas actually it's the problem today. Uncertainty, well, you know, actually we're past that now. We kind of know what is in doubt. You know, that's actually the bigger problem we have. People no longer have confidence that the United States of America is able to solve big problems.
Mhm.
You know, they don't trust this. And that's been a wave for the last 40, 50 years. And I'm hopeful that when people start getting $1,400, you know, American Recovery Plan checks in their bank account the evening of the bill being signed, you know, I'm hopeful that as we build more competency of showing that the government can be effective, we'll be more and more able to move this forward.